Southern California. Okay, a short timeline. In 2015, photos and queries of unhealthy-looking plumerias began showing up on social media, like Facebook groups, plumeria growers and stuff, plumeria cultures, plumeria connoisseurs. Okay, in 2017, lots more photos from San Diego County to Orange County to LA County began appearing on social media with positive comment of hot weather, needs extra salt, excessive rain, high soil pH,
It's not coming in, it's too far away to read.
micronutrient damage,
far away.
and weed killer damage. By August 2017, this malady of plumerias appeared to be an epidemic proportion, so my good friend Don and I began investigating. And since my plumerias were not affected, we went to a friend's home and other places to inspect the plumerias. And we were shocked at what we saw. And what did you see? Instead of seeing this, with all the healthy leaves, a lot of blooms, we saw heavily damaged plumerias like never seen before. Overall unhealthy look, sparse leaf growth, sickle or cupped leaf. So you can see the sickling right here, like a sickle shape. See, that's not normal, the cupping. Modeling and stippling of the leaves. Stippling is that white dots right there. This is the modeling. Yellowing of the leaves. Reddening of the leaves. Puckering of the leaves. And necrosis browning of the margin of the leaves. And you can see the leaf hoppers there. Okay. Necrotic dead areas on the leaves. Marginal chlorosis of the leaves. This is a marginal chlorosis right there. Narrowing of the leaves. And marginal chlorosis and cupping of the leaves again. We also saw spots of dried sap on the bottom of the leaves, on the underside. That could be either feeding damage or where the eggs were laid. Right there. That's sap, latex sap. Hopper burn we saw. This is particular to leafhoppers, the Amphoasca species. No other bugs will do this. This is a bad case of it. It's a hopper burn is defined as a non-contagious disease caused by the damage of direct feeding and plant wound response to the feeding. Sparse blooms. We saw hardly any blooms. This is in August. All of this should be full bloom. See, there's very sparse, hardly any. And this is late summer, not winter. The leaves should be dark green. In every case, we saw the yellowish green leafhopper. Right there, there. These are all the adults, winged adults. Okay, what happened next? Well, many leaves were picked at different locations, collected bug samples, and looked at the damage. Dozens of leafhoppers were collected, all were females. So all of these were females. Dozens of them. Finally, males were needed for positive ID, I was told. These are all females again. Genital after genital was inspected under the microscope. These are all females. That's how they lay their eggs. Nothing but females were found. More females. And finally, after hours of looking, a male was found. This is a male here, this is a female. This is how she lays her eggs. That's an ovipositor for the eggs. And the male has this, like these claw-like things that grabs the females from mating. That's how you can tell the difference. Male, female. Finally, a few more males were found. I think I found about 6 of them. 5 or 6 were definitely males, and a couple were kind of like kind of ambiguous. Okay, so I texted Dawn with good news, and we went to go meet Gabor. And what did we discover? Okay, Gabor made a tentative identification of Empalaska stevensii, or the Stevens leafhopper. Gabor is the LA County Agricultural Commissioner Weights and Measures entomologist, and he's in Southgate. Then the specimen went to a person named Ron, who confirmed the tentative ID of Empalaska stevensii. And he or she is a leafhopper specialist, and that's at the state level, the California Department of Food and Agriculture in Sacramento. The final destination, the specimens are at the federal level now, at the Systematic Entomology Laboratory in Maryland for positive ID. That's the USDA. If confirmed as Empalaska, it will be a new record for California. Okay, more info about the Plumeria leafhoppers. The order Hemiptera, family Psychedelidae, or they just call the hoppers. Characterized by their sucking mouth part. This is their characteristic mouth part. Mouth part right here. You can see it. And they have a distinctive sideways crab walk. They could walk forward and backward and sideways. That's typical for leafhoppers, not other insects. Okay, how they damage the Plumeria? They're sap suckers. Here's a few. They're sap suckers. Greatly magnified mouth part, right there. This is their face. That's their feet, 6 legs. This is their mouth part. The mouth part stylets, they have, they're for piercing and probing lead. That's mechanical damage. This is about 1,000x under oil immersion lens. See, that's the stylet. Then I enlarged it more, and you can see it's serrated. That's how come there's so much damage. That's mechanical damage from the leafhopper. The newly hatched ones will start feeding and damaging. This is their mouth parts right there. They have a needle-like stylet mouth part which injects toxic saliva into the tissue. So that's a chemical damage. See, that's a mouth part. So they have mechanical damage and a chemical damage.
Is that how it's spread through the chemical?
Oh, well, that's what damages the leaves, makes it like all brown and yellow. Yeah. Okay, so it's the leafhoppers, piercing, sucking stylet mouth part, plus the toxic saliva that damages the leaves of the Plumeria. Other insects don't do that. Okay, anything else about the leafhoppers? They're not to be confused with the sharpshooter, silent, plant hopper, or whitefly. They're all about the same size. All of these were found on my Plumerias. There seemed to be last year infested with a lot of hemipterans. See, that's a sharpshooter. That's a silent, plant hopper, and this is your typical whitefly everybody gets. This is the LeafHopper right there. They're all in the same order.
The top one of the silent, that's the nymph of it though, right?
Yes, that's a nymph. That's a nymph of the sharpshooter. This is an adult silent. This is a nymph of a plant hopper, and this is the adult LeafHopper.
Whitefly.
White fly.
Oh, whitefly, sorry. Other problems can exist with the leafhoppers. This is mildew. It's real common along the coast and humid areas, all that white stuff. But it also damages the leaves with the leafhoppers. Okay, this is not hopper damage, it's sun-scorched leaf. All this is sunburn. That's not hopper damage. This is also not leafhopper damage. This always occurs like around late summer and fall. Somebody said it's because of the angle of the sun. This is not leafhopper damage, but old leaves. These are just old leaves, or maybe nitrogen deficient. These are not leafhopper damage. The thrips can coexist. Thrips can coexist with the leafhoppers. That's a thrip. This is a thrip right here. This is like the second stage of the leafhopper. That's a thrip. Mites can coexist with leafhoppers. That's the mite. So you can see the relative size of between. Whiteflies can coexist with leafhoppers. This is a whitefly, like a nest. That's the adult. The adult. Okay, three-stage life cycle. The egg, the nymphs, and adult weaning stage. The nymph is the stage you want to kill them at. They're the easiest to kill. The eggs are laid simply in the veins, the ovipositor. This is the ovipositor. That's how she lays her eggs. She's upside down. And then she'll lay it like right along there on the underside of the leaves. And the leaves and the nymphs will emerge 7 to 14 days. There's a newly hatched one right there in that circle. This is the first stage, instar. They're whitish to translucent. They have the dark eyes, about 1 millimeter in length. And they'll be in this stage for about 2 days. These are hard to see. It looks like a little line. It'll be right along the mid-vein. It looks like a little line moving. This is a newly hatched right here. That's an older stage. These are the three of the earliest stages of the nymph. This is the stage you want to spray. If you're going to spray pesticide, this is the stage you want to get. Another view. Okay, this is the third start in stage. You can see the wing pads starting to form right there. This is still an easy stage to kill. About 2 days in that stage. And here's starting to be a reproducing adult. This is a wing starting to form. And that's like its eye. This is feet and legs. Okay, this is adult. That's a newly hatched. It takes about 23 days, sometimes 30 days, depending on the weather. Hotter the weather, the faster the development. These are easily seen. These are real hard to see. You have to really look for them. The adults are orange tinged, wingtips, yellowish green, about 1/8 of an inch long. They have this distinguishing kind of an orangey tip. This is adult, and they fold their wings kind of like tent-like over the body. That's an exoskeleton. That's how they mold and grow. You see these? They're just empty shells. They'll just drop off the plant. Okay, management ideas. How can we do what we do about the LeafHoppers? Well, some people pretend they aren't there. There's naysayers out there. Sit there, stare off at the stage. Or you can tackle the problem by being proactive. You can walk around the garden, inspect the Plumerias weekly, because pests are easier to control when the outbreak is new. So just look around. Look up at the underside of the leaves. That's the majority of the pests are present. Because the humidity is higher and it's shaded and it's cooler, they just like it better. So you have to look up under the leaves. In the fall, rake up all leaves, throw them away. Don't use them for mulch. Throw them in the trash can. Strip all leaves off before spring. The eggs and nymphs can overwinter in and on the leaves in the mild winter. So you strip them. Strip all the leaves off. These start to get infested with the leafhoppers. Remove all weeds, because a lot of weeds here, that could be where they could overwinter. And when buying Plumerias and you see leafhoppers on them, best to strip off the leaves immediately and just put in a bag and toss them instead of taking them home. Offer some advice to your neighbors if you see heavy infestation. That will be a source of reinfestation for leafhoppers on your plants. All this was really heavily infested. I saw this in Gardena yesterday when I was at an orchid show. We were all heavily infested. The leaves stayed on all winter. This is a leaf from it. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4, 5, 6, 7. And these are reproducing adults right here, the winged adults. These are exoskeletons, so they're growing. You can apply insecticides. There are different brands and kinds of broad spectrum insecticides, pesticides that will kill leafhoppers. There's nothing specifically to kill leafhoppers. You just buy the broad spectrum one. All the commercial insecticides pretty much will kill them, especially the immature nymph stage. Use whatever you're comfortable with. There's organics versus non-organics, botanicals versus synthetics.
How often do you have to treat?
Oh, you have to read the label and follow directions. Each pesticide is different. Yeah. There's insecticidal soap. This is effective. This is effective in lots of stuff. You can buy it ready to use or mix it yourself. Essential oils. This one works, but you have to constantly use it. You have to use it like once or twice a week. It won't kill the eggs. It'll kill the nymphs and the adults if you could catch them. There's neem oil, also botanical, but this one also only works, but you have to constantly use it, constantly. Sesame oil. This is the only product I noticed that says it won't kill bees. Mineral oil. And combination sprays. More combination sprays. Another combination spray. Pyrethrins. This is supposed to be pretty good. but you also have to use it constantly. Pyrethrum gives a quick knockdown here. It kills the bugs really fast, but you have to keep using it. And Bug Be Gone by Ortho and Triazazide and Spectricide, these are a synthetic form of pyrethrins called pyrethroids. These are highly effective. I use both of these. Another pyrethroid, just another brand. And systemic, these will give the longest control because it's systemic. It goes directly into the plant itself via the roots or leaves. It is systemic by the granular, liquid, or spike form. If this concentration here lasts up to 12 months, this one's like only a couple of months because it's weaker. Just another systemic. These are other spray options. These have been around for decades. Malthion 7 is what everybody used to use back in the 70s and 80s, maybe 60s. These are the old standards. Alcohol will work. You could use a straight, 50 or 70%. Some people mix it with water. I use a straight. Works really good. And this one, spinosad. This one, don't bother buying because it's mainly for chewing insects, not for sucking insects. So this is good for like caterpillars and stuff and beetles, but not sucking insects. Or you can hold ounce of Plumeria several times a week. That will help keep the leafhopper population down to a manageable level, but not practical in drought situations. Okay, there's other bugs that eat the leafhoppers. If you don't want to use sprays, the beneficial insects would be like pirate bugs. Pirate bugs have this thing here which pokes them and sucks out the juices. A robber fly will eat them. Assassin bug. Ladybug and the larvae. The serpent fly, the hoover fly, this is the immature form of the serpent fly. Right here is eating insects, but it'll eat other soft-bodied insects, like immature nymphs of leafhoppers. Dragonflies are known to eat soft-bodied insects. Lacewing larvae, praying mantis. Spiders are really good. Other spiders. Another spider. And this spider here, I saw it under the microscope. It's eating a baby leafhopper right there. It really sucked the juices out. It didn't eat it, it just sucked the dry right there. Okay, this is a good spider right there. Okay, oh, anything else with the leafhoppers? This is kind of good. I found something interesting in December 2017. I found about like 7 of them. They're parasitized leafhoppers, more likely by a dryaded wasp, and they're known parasites of the leafhoppers. See, there it is right there. It's parasitized. So look out for those. The wasp feeds between they're called sclerites, and then when they grow, an external sac is formed. See, the little larvae of the wasp is forming between these things. Then the external sac forms. It drops off and pupates the cocoons. It also kills the adult leafhopper. There it is right there. Right there. So if you see something hanging off an adult leafhopper, don't kill it. These are beneficial. So we got a parasitized and non-parasitized. So you can see that growth on it. Okay, any questions or comments? Raise your hand. And here's a reference. You could copy this or take a picture of your phone. It's a really good online website by Don Hodel. He has all kinds of articles on there, certain bugs that we found and stuff. And also this article with a lot of good pictures by him. All right, and that's it.
Thank you, Linda. Are there any questions? I mean, okay,
Well, I noticed that right after they molt, when you find them on the back of the leaves, they're much slower and easier to squash with your hands if you have only like a small number of plants that you're inspecting. But I just noticed it seemed right after they molt, if you can catch them at that time, they seem to be slower.
Slower? Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. No, I didn't notice it. Okay, that's good.
okay, Linda, I got one right here.
Okay, I have a lot of Plumeria, so they haven't all dropped their leaves yet, so I'm gonna.
Cut the leaves off.
Yeah.
If you have
But
leaves.
if you want to spray right after I take the leaves off,
Well, I would
as a protection.
myself spray it to kill what's there and knock down the
Talking
population.
to Mike,
Oh,
that way we could hear.
I would spray it first to kill the adults and the nymphs, then cut the leaves off. Because a lot of times you cut the leaves off, the adults just fly off somewhere. So I would spray it, then cut it, the leaves off.
And then spray it around too.
Yeah, and rake up all the leaves and stuff, yeah.
Next.
I have two questions. On the sucking mechanics that they do, can you use diatomaceous earth on them? Because that's sometimes used for sucking.
You could use diatomaceous earth if you could get the powder underneath the leaves. Like
Right,
maybe get a puffer duster or something.
Right.
Yeah, but diatomaceous earth would work.
okay. And then the other question I have is, the
Oh, neonicotinoid, uh-huh.
Aren't those the pesticides that are killing the bees?
Well, yeah, but actually, pretty much everything I showed will kill bees.
Oh,
Not just the neonicotinoids. Except for the one Pacific Sad doesn't kill bees. It was the one with the sesame oil.
okay.
Yeah.
And the last question, these insects, do they kill other plants as well?
Uh,
Or just the Plumeria?
Well, the literature says in Hawaii, they transmitted disease to papaya, and they also infest cowpeas and something else, some other vegetable. But somebody noticed it, Victor Sanchez, he noticed it on his night blooming jasmine. And then when I looked online, it was also on the night blooming jasmine. Yeah.
Thank you.
Next. This one over here, good.
I also have two questions. The first being, why is this such a remarkable event in California?
I think because they were all females that I found, and they all reproduced. There was hardly any males. There were hundreds of females to one male. And all those females laid eggs and everything. I think that's why it just exploded so fast. But actually, people were posting on social media since 2015. And I would see the leaves, but I just assumed it was a micronutrient deficiency. So I never actually saw it. I never saw the bugs. Till it finally got to like this area. Yeah.
And then for treatment, why isn't something like dormant oil or like you usually treat your fruit trees?
It suffocates them. The oil will suffocate them.
Okay, so that is an option.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Linda, I raise blueberries for the blossoms, not the leaves. Do I have a problem? Do they affect the blossoms?
From what I've seen, there's a lot less inflows and blossoms. If you look, I looked around, a lot of the plants that were infested with them didn't have many flowers like they used to.
So you think it does limit the number of blossoms you have also, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I was wondering also too, if the population explosion could be that people aren't treating them as frequently as they should with the products.
Oh, yeah, of course, definitely, definitely.
Okay, Diane?
Up at the Alley Arboretum, we had a pretty severe infestation up there, which we also thought was a nutritional deficiency. And we saw lots and lots of leafhoppers. But at my house, and along the coast, obviously a different climate, I didn't have any damage whatsoever. And I believe the difference is because I mix worm castings in with my potting soil. And they are plunged where I used to have my worm ranches. So this year, when we go back up to the Arboretum, I've got 100 trees there, but I have 4 that are exact duplicates of another tree in the grove. So I have a control, and I have one I can test on, provided the curator lets me do this. I'm going to dump a lot of worm castings and top dress these 4 trees, and I'll report back on whether I've seen a decrease in leafhoppers or not. Once I figure out how to measure it, I'll report back.
Good idea. I was gonna treat like my Plumerias in my backyard with the worm casting, but my friend said he knows a person that uses worm casting, but yet he had tons of leafhoppers. But I still want to try it too.
Right.
Yeah.
This way I have the control and I have something to test in, plus I've got the other 90-something trees. Let's see if this is a better approach to this, and does it actually decrease the leafhoppers?
Or decrease it to a manageable level. Yeah, that would be good. Yeah, report to us, that would be good, yeah.
This might be a hard question to answer, but did you notice that you had any particular types of Plumeria that seemed to be more resistant? Like different varieties that maybe were less infested? Maybe that had a natural resistance?
My sister had like, I don't know, 40, 50 Singapores, and they rarely have it. I think it's because the leaves are much thicker. Yet the Singapores seem to be immune to it so far, from what I could see, compared to the rubras.
I have though found that my dwarf Singapore pink is an overwintering station for them.
Oh, okay.
That's good to know.
Right here, the new one.
New one. So all my Plumeria is in the pot. And then last year, I had a horrible insect problem. It started with spider mites, white fly, and then thrips. And maybe I have LeafHopper when I see it now. So I used organic corn, neem oil, and the soap and the water, and didn't work. And then I was wondering, all those insects live in the soil, or should I change the soil?
No, not necessary to change the soil. Get rid of the leaves that are on the soil. Yeah, they don't burrow into the soil or anything, so the soil is fine. Yeah.
As long as I treat leaves.
Yeah, and break up all the bad leaves, yeah.
We'll take this last question here.
Linda, you mentioned that your Plumerias aren't affected at all. What do you think is a contributor to that?
No, back in August, when my friend Dawn and I started studying this, I saw 2 leafhoppers in the fall of 2016, and I was wondering about them, but nothing was wrong with my Plumerias. But August 2017, my Plumerias were hardly infected, but by September, October, they were heavily infested. They reproduced really fast. August, mine just got a late start, but they're infested. So I cut all the leaves off and stuff like that. Yeah, mine was just a late start to it.
Okay, just a real quick thing before we go to break. This year I used worm castings, sprayed my leaves, and I didn't really have them until I stopped. So I'm not saying that was the cure, but I always spray, throw catches on my ground, and spray my leaves with my sprayer. Everything you saw on there, the bear and everything, it's not organic. Again, whatever you choose to use, it's going to be up to you. The best thing to do is try to get them before they start.
Yeah.
So cut up all your leaves, rake them all up, and try to figure out what you're going to do. The new claws coming up is what you want to spray. But the choice is going to be yours.
Yeah.
If you're going to use the bear, if you're going to use neem oil, if you're just going to hose them off, whatever it is you want to do. If they get too far out of hand, it's just going to be a problem, and you're not going to be able to get rid of them. There's going to be no way. They're going to keep multiplying. Also, I want to remind everybody, it's still winter time. Don't start repotting your plants. It gets cold. It was hot there for a while. Just be patient. Don't start pulling your plants out and hosing them down. It's still winter. Who belongs to the Facebook group for the South Coast members? Okay. Linda Hills, one of our advisors, is a spokesperson, not spokesperson, works for Bear. And there's going to be a coupon thing on there. Someone called me? There's going to be a coupon thing. You can redeem it for a discount. I'm not sure what the discount is. But on the page today, I'm going to post it. So, you probably get a little bit cheaper. But like I said, whatever you use, it's your choice. And there might not be any other option but to use some of the stuff.
It doesn't seem the beneficial bugs are keeping them at a manageable level from what I'm seeing.
Okay.
And Bear is a one-time application.
I think that's what she said, yeah,
So
12 months.
Yeah, 12 months is a pretty good, rather than having to do it twice a week.
Yeah.
To spray twice a week, you're gonna be out there all week.
So I think everybody's here because they had leafhoppers.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you have a heavy infestation and you're choosing to stem it, it's going to take a while to get into the plant system. So you're going to want to do a topical spray as well if you have a heavy infestation, initially at least.
And every backyard is different, so what works in mine might not work in yours. So you don't want to copy me. You want to try to use something that is, whatever it is you're going to use, try it. Try it on different trees and see what happens. Don't start copying everybody. From one backyard to the next is different.
David, for people who have their plumerias in pots, that the treatment amount should be reduced by half as far as the systemics.
It'll say on the label, follow the label. That's a legal document, but follow the label. Whoever asked that. It'll say exactly on the label.
If I'm going to spray my leaves, which I'm going to try in a couple of them, I'm going to go half the dosage on one, a little bit more on the next one, and full on the next one. Just to see. I'm not sure what's going to happen. But like I said, I didn't have them until I stopped spraying the worm castings. It got real warm at the later on in the winter, and I just stopped spraying. And that's when the leafhoppers attacked my trees.
Oh, how did you spray it?
I just got my worm castings, I dumped it in my sprayer, I shook it up, I just started spraying it all over my trees. That's all I did. I didn't measure anything.
So you're saying it's better to spray the worm casting than put it in the soil?
I put it in the soil and in the sprayer.
I think it was experimenting with that.
It doesn't work on the soil, but I'm going to try that.
The spray, I don't know which one worked. But I was spraying it, I really didn't have them, until I stopped spraying. Then they just came out of nowhere. With a spray, I just crumble them up, throw my sprayer, shake it, and start spraying them over my trees. Huh? I'll make a tea out of it.
Oh, the whole wall there, yeah.
So you don't go out there and spray it in May, because it'll burn your leaves. So you want to either do it late at night, or like after the sun goes down, give it time to dry, or early in the morning, but not on a hot day, because anything that has an oil on it, if it doesn't get dry and the sun comes down and beats on it on a hot day, it'll burn the heck out of the leaves. And I know because I've done it.
Okay, Yeah, good point, morning or late afternoon.
And then one last question, there's a Bayer product that's a systemic, that's a two-way, and then there's a three-way. And I was wondering if there's any big difference between those two systemic Bayer products.
I think the
2-in-1 or 3-in-1?
is just, I think 2-in-1 is just fertilizer and insecticide, and 3-in-1 is a fungicide, insecticide, and fertilizer. That's what they're referring to, the 2-in-1 and the 3-in-1. Yeah.
Linda wanted me to mention about if you have infected plants, if you have a heavy infestation, or if you haven't seen any kind, you probably shouldn't be transferring your plants, like trading them to other people unless you've got them fully treated. You spray everything, because the big problem is we weren't noticing these leafhoppers in our area until after the whole Laulea Hawaiian Festival. Yeah, and they had a whole bunch of, there were types that were brought in from Orange County and the south areas that were brought in there in big boxes. A lot of them had leaves, and she noticed there were leafhoppers on them. And it was, and it was a couple months later that I saw my first leafhopper.
See, that's how it got spread from probably.
And we're close by to where they have the festival.
They're a vector.
Yeah, like I said, we're all here because that bug harmed us in some way this year. Some way, I mean, our plants came up, the leaves came up, but you weren't getting as many blooms. The leaves were all curling and everything. I suggest you start catching it now and post it on the Facebook group so the rest of the members can see it. That way we can try to get a hold of this thing. Because almost a bunch of plumerias coming up with no blooms on them, no leaves, no anything. And I think it's very important that we as a community, that we try to solve this issue. I mean, at least get an idea of what's working. I tried 4 or 5 different things, but as for last year, for me, I think it was the worm castings. Spray and grow, and the worm castings on the ground. I don't know though. I don't know that for sure. I was consistent with it. I think I might have kept interrupting them. I don't know. But I'm going to do the same thing this year. But let's go ahead and take a...
When do we use the worm casting?
I took one of the last rain.
Right now. Okay.
Right now you can start using everything.
Where do you get yours?
Who's selling the best?
I can't say.
Want the address?
Okay, it's 3 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll get right to the raffle. Okay, thank you guys for coming. Thank you.